With Christmas over, our thoughts turn to the new year.
In 2 days' time, in a uniquely British custom, our head of state, Her Majesty the Queen, will honour the great and the good for services to their country.
Since 1877, the New Year Honours list has made the headlines, and in recent years we've seen actors, sporting heroes, even some Songs of Praise presenters collecting their medals from the palace.
But it's not all about famous faces. Most of the 2,000 or so honours every year go to people most of us have never heard of. But with hard work and humility, they've served their communities.
This week we hear the story of one man's bravery on the buses, an MBE for giving out chocolates, and an OBE for the man changing Manchester. And we'll be giving God the honour in song with the help of Only Boys Aloud and Matt Redman's international hit 10,000 Reasons.
There's one place in the country to which all those with honours have privileged access. We are in St Paul's Cathedral, and this is the OBE Chapel. And people who've been given honours are allowed to hold family weddings and baptisms here.
The chapel commemorates the founding of the Order of the British Empire in 1917 by King George V to honour the efforts of the public in the First World War. These days, the Cabinet Office in Westminster takes care of the process, and it's far more open than it used to be.
Anyone can nominate anyone for an honour. We then consider those nominations. The recommendations then go to the Prime Minister, and those recommendations are put forward to the Queen. We feel an immense sense of pride for what people have achieved. Actually, you feel a bit humbled because they have done quite extraordinary things. It is often validation of years and years of terrific work in their community.
The idea of giving honour is at the heart of the Christian faith. The word worship means giving worth. And we do that now with our first hymn, written by a retired bishop, Timothy Dudley Smith. He's got an OBE himself for services to hymnody.
Before anyone's honour is announced, a strictly confidential procedure is followed.
When somebody is put forward for an honour, they have themselves to agree to take the honour, and they can indeed turn it down. And we expect them then to send us a letter back saying yes or no. If they're anything like me, you worry whether you've ticked the right box for a few weeks.
The medals themselves are prepared by hand at small factories like this one. And each medal represents a different kind of service.
The knighthood is for exceptional achievement at national and sometimes international level. CBE is also typically national. When we come to the OBE, we're thinking very much about regional or county level, and then MBE and BEM are for local community achievement. So the fact that the honour comes from the Queen, it's recognition at the highest level of what they've done, often for many, many years.
Joan Kingham has spent her entire life in Dursley in Gloucestershire.
Darling, how are you?
Very well.
How are the children?
She was given the MBE in 2011 after 70 years of voluntary work. Just one of her many achievements was to help start this day centre for elderly people nearly 50 years ago. At 94, she's now older than all the visitors.
Yes. There's a lot of sick people in hospital, visiting people in their homes.
Why do all this work, though, when you could have retired and had a quiet life and put your feet up?
I've been bored stiff. Which is going to be at all. No, I like being with people. I've always liked that. And I think it's part of my faith too, isn't it, really? John chapter 10, Jesus said, I have come that they might have life, life in all its fullness, life in the here and now. And for me, that's Dursley.
Tell me how it felt when you learned that you'd been given the MBE.
I was flabbergasted. It was a great honour. But the thing that thrilled me most was it pleased other people. Everybody was so excited, more excited than I was, I think. So many friends, they were so wonderful, yes. And I still don't know why I got it, because whatever I was able to do in Jersey, I did because I liked doing it. It wasn't a chore at all.
And do you have strong memories of the investiture?
As you see, I'm very wobbly now. And in those days, 3 years ago, I was still rather wobbly. And I had a horror of falling on the Queen. And having to curtsy was a bit of a task for me. I only gave a little bob, I think.
And you wore something special that day, didn't you?
I wore my best suit, and I wore a hat, which is something unheard of. I never wear hats. This was, I suppose you would call it, do they call them fascinators?
Fascinators, yes.
A little thing that you stick on the back of your head. Oh, I looked absolutely ridiculous.
So what did you do with it afterwards?
Oh, that's another story. I gave it to my church for their auction sale, and my friend bought it for £20. She had a bargain.
Joan, one of your favourite hymns is I Heard the Voice of Jesus Say.
Yes.
Isn't it? Why do you like that one so much?
It speaks so much of what God does for people. Brings them rest and peace and life and light.
And can you remember what those words are?
I came to Jesus as I was, weary and worn and sad. I found in him a resting place, and he has made me glad.